Yes, so last year, it was all about hashtag end SARS protest. And for months, it went on until it was brought under control because promises were made. Committees set up, panel set up, and till date, we're still waiting to get to hear from what is really going on with those panels being set up. It's like some persons are not really happy with what is going on. Some of them are saying that the agreement reached hasn't been fulfilled by the present administration, by the government of the day. Remember LEKKI Gate concession or consortium? Yes, they went back again to reopen LEKKI Gate, and that didn't go down too well with the first set of persons that came out to say hashtag end SARS. Right now they're saying hashtag occupy LEKKI Gate. And of course, security agencies didn't take it too kindly with them. Arrests were made. And of course, mobile courts, yeah, though they granted bail, but many Nigerians, they're still really talking about what transpired yesterday as they occupy LEKKI toll gates. I have two analysts there with me in the studio. And of course, I'd like to start my introduction by introducing the one-time Igor local government chair. Yeah, he was a full-time vice chairman, a legal practitioner, a political analyst. Join me to welcome Honorable Desmond Ugbo. Welcome to TMI Sunday's edition.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Very close to him. He is a legal practitioner, he's a political analyst, he's into agriculture, he's an entrepreneur. To me, he's an all-rounder. I can easily call him jack of all trades.
That's no stuff, no.
Join me to welcome Barrister Robinson Imade. Welcome to TMI Sunday's edition.
Thank you very much, Wilson.
All right. It was all about hashtag Occupy LEKKI toll gate yesterday, and some arrests were made, and Nigerians are still really talking about this. The agitation of the protesters, some are in tune with it, while in other climes, many are like frowning against it. I want to start off with a Barrister Robinson Imade. What do you feel about this?
Well, it is absolutely unfortunate because today we live in a country where our rights, fundamental rights, are absolutely deprived. It's a shame that peaceful protesters were emasculated in the manner they did. And of course, it becomes more worrisome when even the president himself has continually said that Nigerians have the right to protest. Aside from what the president says, even though he oftentimes does not match his pronouncement with performance, what happened yesterday and what is happening just now is an affront to our constitution. Because Section 39 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, guarantees the freedom of speech, freedom of expression. And Section 40 guarantees freedom of assembly. I do not therefore know why people who go about protesting against the ills, against the injustice, against the irresponsible behavior from many quarters will be treated the way they were treated. It's a shame. Nigeria perhaps is the only country where peaceful protest will be denied. And of course, just to add to the legal position of protest, Section 94 of the Electoral Act 2010 as amended also guarantees the freedom of protest, allows the, in fact, mandates the police to provide adequate security during protest. Ditto Section 83 of the Police Act 2020. Section 93 of 94 of the Electoral Act and 83 of the Police Act 2020 guarantees freedom of protest and mandates the police to provide adequate security for those who are protesting. How come that even before the protest started, the place was already occupied? It ought to be occupied LEKKI toll gate, but what we saw at the beginning was the police in their thousands occupying LEKKI toll gate. It's a shame. I have said here during the NSAS protest that I support the protest, and I will continue to support it. And in fact, what happened yesterday was a shame. It ought not to be. The federal government should apologize to the protesters, and Nigerians should be allowed to enjoy their fundamental human rights, which includes the freedom of expression, freedom of assembly, and freedom to protest.
Okay, I will come back to you. Thank you so much for giving us a solid foundation to this discussion. Honorable Desmond Ubo, you heard him. He said Nigerians have the right to protest, but don't forget that before the commencement of this protest, there was a counter-protest against this protest. According to this police hierarchy, that was the reason why they came to that gate, to prevent the breakdown of law and order between two groups. Take it up from there.
Yes, exactly. The Defend Lagos group,
yes.
They plan to carry out protests, just like as he copiously quoted from the 1999 Constitution as amended. The rights of every individual is to speak out when you are not faring well. I think the present government, at the beginning, when this government came on board, or even prior to it, this government was a product of protestation. Recall in 2014, the current president led a protest organized by Tunde Bakare, the likes of Dino Melaya and others. And he was seen in the forefront protesting the so-called cluelessness of the former president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. And that caught the awareness of Nigeria and informed their consciousness to bring the change that we are in. You know, the Bible is very clear about what change means, and that you shouldn't join those who are asking for a change. And here we are. The change we have seen today has brought untold hardship, has brought subjugation of human rights, people are prevented from even speaking out. At a time, this present government has come out to say they want to regulate the use of social media, thus preventing people from speaking their mind. You know, when the welfare and the rights of people are no longer protected, even by law, or by those that were saddled with the responsibility of providing security and welfare for people, you see what we are seeing now become the order of the day. Protest, you can't take it away from people, especially when people have asked for peaceful protest. Just like as I mentioned, the police ought to have provided protection for those protesting to prevent it from degenerating, to prevent hoodlums from hijacking it. Yes, those who are protesting, if you heard what they were saying, they were asking for justice. Because after the October 20th, 2020 protest, the NSAS protest, a panel was set up by federal government and even by state government with a view to looking into those that were meted with injustice, those that were ill-treated, those that were prevented from doing that which the laws enable them to do, and those that also take laws into their hands should be dealt with accordingly. But what have we seen? The reopening of LCC, LEKKI Concession Company, the reopening of the LEKKI TOLLGATE has infuriated a lot of people, asking, was the panel set up to bring about injustice? What happened to those that were vilified, those that were dehumanized, those that were tortured in the TOLLGATE LEKKI stuff? Now, at the end of the day, nothing good has come out of it, because it appears that they set up the house of Nebuchadnezzar. Nothing good actually came out of it. And the people now take to the street to protest the injustice that has been meted on it. Even some members of the panel, those representatives of the NSAS group, came out to speak their mind, that it appears that nothing will come out of it by way of justice. And that has informed the consciousness of those that came out to protest. And those that are protesting, they are representing the minds of people, they are representing the minds of Nigerians, majority of Nigerians, whose current government position has gashed them, has pocketed them, has deprived them from speaking their mind. And in a situation like this, such that we are in, anarchy is very near. Because you cannot stop me from speaking my mind. They say majority are free to have their way, but allow minority to have their say. So what happened yesterday was such an unfortunate incident, is such that the international community will condemn in total. Right. Because there is nowhere on earth where you will stop the people or prevent the people from speaking their mind, even when the government is not doing well to the expectation or to the electionary promises that they gave the people of Nigeria. And we have their track record, or we have tracked their electionary campaigns as to what they told Nigerians they are going to do, and what we are seeing is a different ballgame. So it's barbaric for police, whose duty it is to protect those who are protesting from degenerating, now becoming an agent of doom, agent of barbarism, to start arresting those who are peacefully conducting themselves.
Okay, I will come back to it, because many people will take exception to your last comment, saying they're like agents of doom, of barbarism, arresting those people who they ought to protest. But they gave a sound warning, saying this is what we've heard. Two groups are coming to the same place for a showdown. Is it a crime for the police to really come in to make arrests? Though they've been freed, yes, they've been granted bail, at least to secure lives and properties of anyone around that Lekki
They ought to have
gate.
looked before they leap.
Barrister Robinson, what do you feel about this? Because more like saying that they came in good faith to prevent fights from brewing or fight from occurring between these two groups that want to come the same day, having different agenda in their minds. Over to you.
Whether people were coming to protest in favor or against, whether people were coming to occupy Lekki TOLLGATE or others were coming to
save Lagos.
At the same time, the duty of the police, as entrenched in the Police Act 2020, is that they provide adequate security for protesters. If they are saying that we have no powers, we have no the wherewithal, we do not have capacity to provide adequate security for protesters, and so we are now saying no more protest in Nigeria, it will definitely be unfortunate. If you ask me, the police has no reason to go against what the law asks them to do. In any case, who were those coming to protect Lagos? Did you not see during the NSAS protest how government vehicles and officials infiltrated those we now call hijackers of the protest? The protest or NSAS did not last for 1 week very peacefully until it became a thorn in the flesh of the powers that be, and they decided to hijack the process. Who were those who were more Lagosians than the people were coming to protest that now decided, oh, we must protect Lagos? Whose duty is it to protect Lagos? Those who were coming? And does the mind of the few perhaps sponsor people who were coming to protect Lagos now stop the peaceful protesters who have genuine reasons to want to protest? And like he said just now, we are aware that the panel that was set up is still sitting. Nothing good has come out of it. Even members have said we cannot rely on this panel. And at the end of the day, what we are seeing is that even the panel, while still sitting, is permitting those who were actually supposed to be accused to reopen and begin to oppress the people. There is no voice, no matter how, there's no weapon, no matter how strong, no power, no matter how strong, that the majority of the people cannot overcome. What we are seeing in Nigeria today is, unfortunately, it's going to thicken the skin of those who really genuinely mean well for Nigeria. And those are the protesters, the peaceful protesters. We must continue to protest, because it's our constitutional right to do so, against the injustice, against the unfairness, against the one-sidedness of this administration, and any protest that is peaceful, that is organized to protect this country, including Lagos, must be allowed to hold. Why one would have said, oh, the police was right, if those for and those against had come and there was a clash. In my opinion, the people who were supposed to come protest against the anticipated protest of the ENSA's second phase are those who are sponsored and who are the enemies of this country. I think that the president, the presidency, the government of APC must allow Nigerians have their say, have their way as far as their constitutional rights are concerned. What is happening just now is trampling upon our legitimate rights.
Trampling upon legitimate rights. That's what he said. We'll take a look at that clip. Some of the protesters were ushered into the Black Maria. They were taken to the station. Some are like saying that they don't really know where they were being taken to. Others are saying, look, they've been granted bail. That is a report on the print media. What about the preventive measure taken by the police to quell the clash between hashtag Save Lagos and, of course, hashtag Occupy Lekki TOLLGATE? Don't think the police were right in coming to really prevent a showdown between these two groups rather than separating fight. Why not just quell the quarrel?
Well, if you look at it from that angle, they may have an idea of those two groups coming to occupy Lekki. And the fact that they were there to prevent the protests from degenerating, especially when two groups, one opposing and the other one supporting, has planned to carry out that protest that day. Yes, it is their duty to prevent such visage violence. But the fact that they have seen that the other groups have called off their protest, and this other group, the NSAS group, has come out to protest the injustice that has been done to those that were brutalized on that day, and that the current panel is sitting and nothing meaningful has been mentioned by way of bringing out the culprit, those alleged officers that perpetrated the evil crime were shielded by the authority, and yet the people that have been arrested are yet to meet the required justice. So that in itself would have informed the police to make sure they hear these people out. Listen to them carefully, articulate their points, and take it back to those that sent you to that particular place. I think what is important here is that the police has not done well. If you look at the excuse they came out with for arresting them, that some of them did not put on a face mask. And these are trivial and frivolous excuses, because from what you are seeing, majority of them, if not all of them, they were putting on face mask. They removed it from them. They were stripped half naked, for crying out loud, in order to make it real that they actually violated the COVID-19 regulation. And they have asked them to come back on the 2nd of March now, where the mobile court will be sitting. They should come with their COVID-19 test. Who knows if that test is conducted in Lagos? Out of that 40, that 35 of them will not be found positive.
But we don't know about that. Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, Nigeria, anything can happen.
About that,
anything can happen. So because they are head bent on making some people a scapegoat, how on earth will you see an artist, somebody like Debo Adebayo, popularly known as Macaroni, was arrested and was dehumanized in such a manner as to have him stripped naked? Yes, you can see that in this country, some people are more superior than the other. It is in this country you heard a state governor trying to give credence to the herdsmen who are armed with AK-47. I'm not sure there is any part of the 1999 Constitution or any law, any enabling law in this country that empower anybody to carry arms without being licensed either by the president or by the IG.
All right.
Today, the governor has given them enough courage by trying to defend them, that the idea of the herders carrying firearms is to protect their cow and protect their lives. What now happened to other parts of the country who ordinarily you see banditry are having a field day, kidnappers everywhere.
All right.
And today we saw that one respected Islamic cleric has came out publicly to say that he wants to negotiate with bandits, and that even the bandits are planning to buy anti-aircraft missile.
Okay.
How did he get all the information?
All right,
if it's not a part and parcel of them.
All right, now,
and yet the same man has not been invited by DSS or any police or security
okay,
agent
now,
to be questioned.
Let's come back to the hashtag Occupy Lekki Tollgate. Yes, you are making a point. You are giving a very, very strong reason. Now, it's good that during the hashtag EndSARS protest, at first things were going peacefully until it was hijacked. You get to hear destructions, that's wanton destructions of lives and properties. You get to hear about jailbreak. You get to hear also about inhumane treatment meted on people that really want to go out to earn a living during that period of hashtag EndSARS protest. Borrowing a leaf from what really transpired last year, towards the end of last year, the law enforcement agents, are they not correct by quickly moving into action to prevent what happened last time during the hashtag EndSARS protest to repeat itself?
They are not correct. There is no precautionary measures that will make anybody go against the constitutional right of anybody. What they should do to be correct is to go and amend the Constitution, to go and amend the Electoral Act, to go and amend the Police Act, to the effect that because we expect that protests can be hijacked, can be taken over, there should be no protest in Nigeria. If the Constitution guarantees every Nigerian to protest peacefully, there can be no reason why anybody will say, you must not protest. And come to think about it, are we sure that the other group, he mentioned Macaroni and the others, who led the other group that were supposed to come and protect Lagos? Is it their duty to protect Lagos? Does Lagos not have a governor and a government that ought to do so? Why would we give credence to a group of people who, in my opinion, came out as interlopers? They want to protect Lagos. Buhari, Tunde Bakare, and the likes occupied Nigeria, and for such a long time. And the then government of President Goodluck Jonathan provided security. Why would anything that Nigerians want to do under this government become criminalized or become infiltrated? I don't see the justification for the police to say, oh, we suspect that there was going to be clashes, so we now trampled upon the rights of Nigerians. It is not defensible. As far as I'm concerned, Nigerians have a right to protest. Talking about the 4 people who were arrested, asked to come with their COVID-19 test, who is going to conduct the test? And I'm shocked that you are saying about 35% of them maybe the test result is obviously going to be against them.
Of course.
If you are going to conduct test results, the embassies, when they don't even rely in most cases on our own test, they have designated places where they conduct the test for COVID-19, and each of those places take 50,000 from Nigeria.
Well, let's just believe that the test will be done seamlessly, and of course the right result will be given to us to know.
Fine. Even in Edo State, people who are not wearing masks in defense and in protection against COVID-19 are sent to a tribunal. They are fined. Has anybody amongst us here or anywhere else in Nigeria, outside protesters, have they been asked to go come with test results? Why are we selectively running this country? Some people are above the law, some people are under the law, others do not have even right to enjoy their constitutional rights. So there can be no justification for scuttling that EndSARS Occupy Lekki Tollgate protest. And if I know Nigerians, if I know how much we have been pushed to the wall, it will still take place. It will still take place. Whether we like it or not, the right of a people to protest is sacrosanct. It's part of, you become dehumanized. The humanity in you is taken away if you cannot express yourself, if you cannot peacefully assemble, if you cannot. I don't understand what we enjoy in this country anymore. We are being killed every day by people we now must call headers, and we know where they are coming from. Our farms are ravaged. Even the governor in the north said, you don't like names mentioning, that, oh, the herders go to the forest, they must bring down trees to feed their cattle. And oftentimes, according to the governor, their economic trees. Do you expect the people to keep quiet? And when you react, what happens? There is a plan to protect the herders because they come from the sacred tribe. So Nigerians, as far as I'm concerned, are living under a siege. Nobody has a right to do anything anymore. We cannot talk. We must just follow like zombies. And that is not good for our psyche. Like he said, those who make peaceful change impossible, make violent change inevitable. We are sitting on the keg of gunpowder, and I see this country exploding in no time.
Anyway,
I see the country exploding.
It will not explode. It will not explode.
What's going to stop it?
It will not explode because I believe that the administration are doing all they can to quell all manner of banditry, kidnapping.
That's what I'm saying. Quell all manner of speech, all manner of opposition, but not all manner of banditry, because those ones are encouraged.
Well, they are not encouraged. They are not encouraged. I will come back to you, Barrister Robinson Imade. Now, still on the Occupy Lekki toll gate. From what they are saying, the panel being set up, what they agreed to is not being done. And what really angered them is the reopening of the toll gate. Don't you know that these guys are fighting against the economic base of some persons in Lagos? After all, some people eke out a living from that toll gate.
My brother, you see, that reopening negates the very agreement they reached. When that panel was set up, the idea is that all manner of justice must be done first before the reopening of that Lekki toll gate. But unfortunately, even while the panel was still sitting, the government of Lagos State went quickly to reopen that Lekki toll gate. And as you saw yesterday, the protest did not hinder the free flow of vehicular movement. People were seen going their normal.
But I'm saying that little drop of water makes a mighty ocean, because 39 just came. If I know it again, others will start coming out. That's what they're trying to prevent.
They are not more than 40. Those who went there protesting. The idea is that, how come you are reopening this? How come the very people who have been subjugated, the very people who have been injured, who have been brutalized, not an iota of justice has been done to this, and yet you are going about your normal business? Let me tell you, the Defend Lagos group were being sponsored by the authority.
We don't have proof of that. We don't have proof of that, so we cannot just
should
base.
ask me, which authority?
We cannot just base our fact on that.
The reason why the police became very apprehensive to go there and quell any possible reprisal or any possible clashes, without which the police wouldn't have gone there looking for those who they don't like their faces and looking for those they like their faces to give them thorough protection. Because in our claim, we have come to know under this government that some people are more superior than the other. But in the Constitution, everybody is supposed to be equal. And when Nigeria was created, we were told that everybody, regardless of wherever you stay, regardless of your geographical location, that we are equal before the law. And it is this country that when certain things are happening in some certain part of the country, some people appear to look the other way side because it's not happening to their own people. So if I tell you that the slogan now is now divided we die, divided we fall, united we die.
Well, that is a wrong slogan. That
Yes,
is a wrong slogan.
It
Many
is,
people are not
it is
into that
what
slogan.
we are seeing today. How come those who are united to speak out, they have been termed criminal? They have been branded criminal and miscreants, hoodlums, using all sorts of derogatory statements to connote their activities. But today, if you go to the northern part of the country, you see people going with their AK-47 with the pretense of protecting their cow. Are cow more important than human being? And in the southern part of this country, if they see a simple small knife with you, you'll be criminalized. Now, where in our constitution that such a lopsided act is guaranteed? No. So I think those who have come together to say, let us speak our mind, let us tell the government that we are no longer enjoying the policies and programs of this administration. They are right. What the government should have done is to listen to them, look at those aspects of their grievances, and do justice speedily to it. Because I know that the best friend to any administration is the critics. If somebody has come out to criticize the government based on their policies and programs, we have seen a lot of policies of assault. Those who have enough courage to speak out, I am very sure they are representing majority of people who have been prevented from speaking up, and yet the government will come out to prevent them from doing that which is legitimate, which is lawful, which the laws enable them to do. So for me, the protesters should be allowed to protest peacefully as they have done, they have conducted themselves. The police should protect them, should provide enough protection so that those miscreants and hoodlums should not adjust the lawful protest that they are going about.
What is the guarantee that the protest will be peaceful? Because after all, the hashtag #EndSARS protest was peaceful at the beginning, but somewhere along the line, it turned violent. And yes, Mr. Macaroni also complained about the way he was being treated. He was tweeting, live tweet and all that, saying this is what is happening. Let's say he's among the few ones that are really coming out with a pure intent of undergoing or carrying out a peaceful protest. What if others come into the protest like what happened in the hashtag #EndSARS protest? What then?
The SARS protest was peaceful.
It was really peaceful.
It remained peaceful until it was hijacked by sponsored miscreants. I won't say more than that. This protest was peaceful yesterday. It would have been peaceful all through, but for the hijack by the police.
Now,
The protest
hold on now. They will not agree to that last comment you
I'm not
don't
saying
make.
that they
Hijacked by the
will
police?
agree until it was disrupted by the police. If you don't like the word hijack. And Wilson, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is the ground norm, allows citizens to protest. You keep asking, what if it's a conditional term? Nobody has a right to preempt another person. Those arrested, were they found with arms? Were they found with anything that would have suggested that, oh, if we allowed them, they would have unleashed mayhem on Lagos? They went there peacefully with their perhaps dancing shoes to let Nigeria know, with their eyes ready to shed tears over the injustice that has pervaded our land. And you are saying, oh, what's the guarantee that it would have been? If we are not sure that any protest will be, because we are not sure.
That was what happened previously.
Because we are not sure, the Constitution envisages the fact that protest may not always be peaceful. That is why it mandated the police to provide adequate security. And so if this fear is now pervasive, if we now believe in Nigeria that, oh, the police is not capable, they don't have the capacity to provide adequate security, to ensure that protests are peaceful, then let us amend the constitution, let us amend the electoral act, let us amend the police act to say no more protests in Nigeria. Because what we are doing now, the constitution is giving us a right, and we are taking it away from us
By
because
force.
of fear of the unknown. Perhaps it will go violent. That's the language and the thought of a weakling. A country should not think or reason like that. It's
All right,
an indictment on the police force.
All right, you just hold
It's
on
an
now.
indictment on the
You
police force.
just hold on. I want to go on a break. When we return, we'll continue with this discussion. Hashtag Occupy Lekki TOLLGATE. The impact it will be having in the polity. My analysts, they've been sharing their thoughts and, of course, their opinion of what transpired yesterday. When we return, we'll take a look at the prospect of it reoccurring if matters are not well handled. You see the way they were treated provoke Nigerian youths to come out en masse, or they should be cautioned on what to do when it's time to really come out to agitate for their rights. We'll be right back after this break.